Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. To all of my newest patrons, thank you very much. I will save your shout out for tomorrow's episode. Wasn't planning on making a video today, but this is very important. So if you don't mind, please take a second to like the video, leave a comment, share it with a friend. We really want to get this petition spread to as many people as possible and signed by as many people as possible. Also, shout out to Holmars on Twitter, who I believe put this together in record time. There is a long write-up of all of the history of bias from Missy Cummings toward Tesla, so I'm not going to cover all of it, just a few things that Rob didn't mention last night. First, a lot of you probably saw this tweet from Dave Lee, but in case not, this is from Missy Cummings back 2018. This is an exceedingly alarmist view of overly privileged, narcissistic, and insecure white men who need to assuage themselves that they are part of some greater good and here to save us from the folly they created. The only killer robot out there is Elon Musk's Tesla. This in response to a new documentary about AI, and in response to a Matt Smith tweet about how Missy is using the Tesla block list and is following plenty of people in Tesla Q, retweeting their tweets and all of that. Elon did chime in and say, objectively, her track record is extremely biased against Tesla. As mentioned, if you're not familiar with the depths of this, go watch Rob at Tesla Daily on his episode yesterday. He covered a lot of her prior tweets, but there's actually more to the story. So on her Wikipedia page, if you scroll down, it says you can see, and she is on the board of directors at Veoneer, which is a LiDAR-based autonomous driving company. So going to their website, Veoneer and Baraja are jointly developing a high-resolution, long-range LiDAR for Level 3 and Level 4 autonomous driving systems. But there's a lot more. Take a look at this. Here we have SEC Form 4 issued by Veoneer to Mary Cummings. We're talking about stock ownership. Transaction date, May 10th, 2021. Common stock, A for acquired 5,263 shares. For a total, on that day, Mary owned 25,911 shares in Veoneer stock. Once again, she is also on the board of directors of this company. That stock is worth over $900,000 at today's prices. And Veoneer lists their competitors as all other automakers. So this is very clearly a conflict of interest, not only financially, but in terms of business interest as well, with Mary sitting on the board of directors of a LiDAR company that is in direct competition with Tesla, the company that Mary has been very publicly and openly biased against in the past. In addition, Veoneer has joined the AVCC, which is essentially a consortium of autonomous driving that is heavily focused on, you guessed it, LiDAR. And when you add to the story all of the comments that Elon has made publicly about LiDAR, how it's a fool's errand, how he does not believe in the technology for autonomous driving, saying that it's not necessary, expensive, all of those things, anytime he said anything like that, of course, it's a direct jab right at Mary and Veoneer. Not intentionally, but I'm sure that's how they received it. So that has developed a lot of ill will for Mary that she is now throwing back at Tesla. So if the current administration hadn't crossed the line yet, then I think this would officially put them over the line. They can't claim ignorance here. You can't hire somebody and not do a background check and understand who they are. When you hire somebody, any company that's ever existed goes through that process. So it's becoming plain as day that the current administration is anti-Tesla. They're trying to be subtle, but we are too well informed. We have access to too much information and they are not subtle. So anyway, I would appreciate it if you take the time to go and actually sign this petition. Share it with a friend, a family member, anybody who likes Tesla, because having Mary at this position with NHTSA cannot be a great thing for Tesla. But look, before I move on, I do want to say, even if she stays in this position and is truly anti-Tesla, Tesla will figure it out. So yes, this may slow Tesla's FSD progress to some degree if Mary stays in this position, but at the end of the day, the technology will win out. Their drive to do the right thing, to make the world a safer place, that will win out. It may just be a bumpier road to get there. So please go sign the petition linked below. Holmars catalog, excellent job with this petition. Okay, a few quick things before I let you go. Tesla is expecting more clarity on the Model X sometime next month. A lot of people right now are waiting for delivery dates and they haven't gotten any information. Electric gathered some reports saying first deliveries of Model X long range have begun in the Bay Area and will expand to all North American locations in the following weeks. Additionally, early to mid Q4 of this year, we expect to update timing in customer accounts to be more specific, i.e. date ranges like January specific date, instead of only showing the month of January, so more data to come here hopefully next month. And they did add, please note at first deliveries these cars may not have all software features that are currently available to non-Palladium Plaid Model X. Next up, some fun lighthearted news. So we have this Starbase Brewing company. If you're not familiar, take a look at their website, but they actually filed a patent for, you guessed it, Giga Beer. So if you click on the patent, you can see we have the trademark for Giga Beer, and this is specifically for the US as of now, but there's really no indication as what they actually plan to do. This is not for the bottle, by the way, that has that Cybertruck inspired design. This is just for the use of the term Giga Beer, and it's under soft drinks, carbonated water, food and food ingredients, and malt beverages and liquors. But who is Starbase Brewing? We're a Texas-based craft microbrewery aiming to be the first brewery on another planet. Our goals are to brew delicious beer, promote science and sustainability, and develop new brewing technologies optimized for humanity's future in space. Established on Earth, brewed for Mars. I don't know about you, but this sounds like something Elon is behind. Next up, a very sad story here, but I did think it was worth sharing in case you want to donate to her family on the GoFundMe. I have linked it below. But as you can see, some pictures of a Tesla Model 3 crash. This is one of the worst I have ever seen. Apparently was a head-on collision. So I think it's a miracle that she's alive looking at these pictures, but she is indeed still alive. However, she is in critical condition. So if you do want to support Jenny and her family, I have linked the GoFundMe below. Cheers to everybody that has already chose to donate. So she's definitely in rough shape, but had she been in any other vehicle, I think her chances of survival and actually being alive would be pretty close to zero. So shout out to Tesla for actually being a safe company, focused on safety with the safest vehicles on the road. Next up real quick, Bitcoin has indeed set new all-time highs. There's so much going on in the space. Later today or tomorrow, I will have another video on Patreon as to what I am buying at the moment right now. But to all of you Bitcoin holders, congratulations, but I do think there's a lot of room to run. But last thing today, just remember Tesla earnings will be released sometime after market close, and then they will have the call later today, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As mentioned, I will go over everything and then have some important points in tomorrow's episode. But enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you guys for watching. Please take a second to like the video if you did, sign the petition, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.